He say, follow me.
The harvest is plentiful, labor is few. The retelling's here to share the good news of JESUS of JEM.
Good to see y'all again. Today we are going to talk about who I like to consider one of the biblical OGs, though there are many of them.
Yeah.
And that is Joseph. You may have heard of him in his Technicolor Dreamcoat. Sound familiar to you? But Joseph, there's so much more to his story, though the coat is pivotal. Okay.
The coat was probably fly.
Fire. Iconic. Okay. Now, you can find the story of Joseph in Genesis. It goes from chapters 37 to 50. It sounds like a lot, but it spans a lot of time. And because he has many brothers, sometimes it weaves in and out of their stories. They're pretty pivotal.
Yep, pivotal. You were right.
Struggling today. They're pretty pivotal because they kind of become the founders of the 12 tribes. So more to that story for another day. But it is long, but there's a lot in there. So
yeah, and if you want to hear about the origination of it, check out the Real Housewives of Israel.
Definitely.
You'll hear how all 12 came to be.
All 12. Okay. There is so much to that story. We'll have to link it for you below.
Yes.
Okay, because that'll take us into Joseph and his brothers. This is going to be Joseph pit to prison and then prison to palace. Originally, it was going to be one episode. We're going to separate it a little bit because so much happened. So first, we're going to hear about the pit to prison, which sounds a little depressing, but I promise you, it's going to uplift. It's gonna, okay?
Yeah, at some point.
At some point. Just stick with me. Okay, so Jacob is the father of 12 boys.
It's a lot of boys.
12 boys and one girl who, poor Dinah, poor thing, because I can't imagine being the only sister to 12 boys.
12.
But yeah, they keep him quite busy. And he makes it not so subtly known that of his children, Joseph is his favorite. Okay?
And we know all parents have a favorite, but the kids should know who the favorite is. I think it definitely will draw some tension. In the family.
In the house.
Betwixt the siblings.
Especially when there are 13
Flags.
of them. Right? Now, Mama, if you are watching, I know I'm your favorite, okay? so you ain't got to tell nobody. We already know. I got you. We cool like the other side of the pillow. I know. But generally, a parent would not let it be known who the favorite is.
Yeah.
And they just say, I love you all equally.
I love you all equally. And usually the kids know. The kids know who the favorite is. Yeah. But, I mean, there's usually... You try to make everybody feel equally.
And you might even take the route of, all y'all get on my nerves.
Which is also a truth. I mean, I think you can equally love your kids and they all get on your nerves.
Yeah, that is very fair. So Joseph is the favorite because he is the firstborn of Jacob, the day, and Rachel, who is Jacob's first love, his true love. If you watch Real Housewives, you will find out just how hard he worked to be married to her.
That's all I got.
Yeah, but he's the favorite. And there are... So, I don't want to say that Joseph was a snitch, right?
He was a snitch. If you're going to say it, I'm going to say it. He was a snitch.
Okay, so yeah, low-key, he was a snitch.
High-key,
he was a snitch. But I don't feel like he would snitch out his brothers to elevate his position because he's already the favorite. He was snitch because his brothers were just doing stuff that they weren't supposed to be doing.
And he was the baby boy, and the babies are usually the snitches.
Yeah. And, Jacob would send him out, like, go see what's happening. And he would. So I think that just adds to it. Like, it's already that he is loved for his position, but then his brothers don't know how to act. So... what you gonna do?
He was snitching. He was telling. He was tattling.
Yes. Now, Jacob gives Joseph an ornate coat, okay? This thing is fancy. It is festive. It is biblical fashion to the max.
Yep. This is the Technicolor coat. This is the tunic. It's a tunic.
Okay. it's fly. It's expensive, and he is the only of the children
Of Rachel.
yeah, of Rachel, and he gets this fancy goat. This fancy goat. So his brothers, who already feel a way towards him, they already like, here you go.
Wait, was Benjamin born yet? Because that's the second of Rachel's. Because Joseph's not the only, but
He
was
was
Benjamin born? Okay, so then never mind. So he wasn't the baby, but he was the first. Okay, of Rachel. Got it.
He's taken on that position from being the firstborn of the love. And also just God put favor in his life, right? So that's all part of it too. However, he gets this coat, and the brothers are mad. They're steaming. They're looking probably over in their little raggedy tunics, like.
I'm sure they had nice things too. Just not.
Their tunics were nice, but it's like if they had the Target brand and Joseph had Gucci, it would make them feel a little bit
For sure.
ragged. It's nothing wrong with Target brand, okay?
I love Target.
It's nothing wrong.
All right,
with
I take that back. I don't love Target, but anywho.
Well, it's okay if it's not name brand, is what I'm getting at there. So he has the coat, he's fly. And the coat also kind of comes with a symbolism to it, right? Like the brothers are laborers. They take care of the animals. So they do like shepherding work. They do some manual labor outside. If you're wearing this very nice Technicolor coat, you're not really being marked for someone to be working outdoors.
He wasn't hurting the flock. He wasn't.
No. He didn't even have a staff. No. He was being set apart to be more of a leader, and the coat was a symbol of that. So the brothers are looking at him like, not only is he the only one to get this special gift, but we're out here working the lands all day and all night and all night and all day. And this one thinks he's just going to be, I don't know, some type of diplomat.
Absolutely. And then there's some icing on the cake. She about to tell you about the icing on the cake.
Ooh. So Joseph is a dreamer. He has dreams. He has a gift to be able to interpret those dreams. This is a gift from God. It's a wonderful thing. However, his gift maybe was not so much in delivery of the interpretation.
No, not at all.
Not so much. So he has a dream that he and his brothers are tying up, I think they call them sheaths of grain, like big things of grain. They're tying them together in his dream. Like I said, the brothers are laborers. And in this dream, the brothers' grain all start to bow to Joseph's grain. And his grain is there in the middle, kind of soaking it up as all of the brothers, all
Surround him.
12 of them, surround him and bow down to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. He later has another dream where there is the sun and the moon, and there are
The stars.
stars. Once again,
11 stars.
11. Because remember, there's 12 suns. So if 11 of them are bowing and one of them is not, that's Joseph.
Mm-hmm. And the sun and the moon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the sun and the moon are mom and dad, mom and pop. Okay?
So everybody.
The whole family is bowing to him. Now, as he tells the brothers about these dreams, like I said, I don't think delivery was part of the gift. So I imagine them just sitting at the table for breakfast with their cereal. They didn't have cereal, but you know what I mean.
They're eating Lucky Charms. And
Lucky Charms, chatting it up, almond milk ready to go. And he's like, yeah.
more like goat's milk. Goat's milk ready to go.
Oh. He's like, yeah, I had this dream where you all just bowed to me. All of your wheat bowed to me. And then I had this other dream where all y'all bowed to me, even mom and dad. And his brothers are probably just looking at him like,
We already don't like you.
like you just,
We don't like
you keep adding strikes, Joseph, okay?
Like fuel to the fire. Like you want all this smoke.
All of it, because you're the favorite, you got the coat, you a snitch.
And you think we about to be bowing down to you?
You done lost your mind. Even Jacob at this point, it says that he rebukes Joseph because in the dream, even he and mom are bowing to Joseph. And in the society, that just would not be. You honor your mother and father in the society.
Not in that culture.
Yeah, nah, that's not happening. So even he rebukes him like, you might be doing a little too much now. But he doesn't forget this. Like, he kind of tucks this dream away in the back of his head, even though he's like, all right, Joseph might be.
You're doing a little bit much, buddy. Still love you. You're doing a little bit much.
I still like a little bit. Yeah, you get close. Now, the brothers are off, supposed to be working, and they probably were. They probably were taking care of business as they were supposed to. And Jacob asks Joseph to go out and look on, check on the situation, make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah. I think they were supposed to come home, right? I think he was supposed to tell them to come home.
Come on home. But it was also like part of his mission was to just give a quick check, because the brothers, like I said before, they be doing stuff.
They be wandering.
They wandered. Like, the first place that he goes to check for them where they're supposed to be is not where they are. We don't know why they're not where they are. They might have just gone out farther than they were supposed to, or not felt like coming back home. But Joseph talks to someone like, hey, you see my brothers? There's plenty of them. They're probably hard to miss. And he tells them that they're farther out. So Joseph goes over there.
Yeah, they were in Dothan.
Yeah.
Let's say that. We're going to go with that. Dothan. Dothan.
I'm going with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stand by it. Now, the brothers can see Joseph approaching from the distance. I'm not sure how it's set up, if it's like flat or hilly or what have you, but they see him come. And you know what? The coat probably actually.
They couldn't miss it. Couldn't miss it.
The coat's just glimmering in the sun.
In the distance.
Yeah. They see him coming and they're like, here he is. Here's this little clown, this sibling of mine that I can't stand. And they start plotting, right? They're like, let's just kill him.
That's crazy. Kill your sibling.
Right. I mean, and I'm be honest, I've threatened to kill my siblings before. We've all of us who have siblings at some point.
I mean, but
said, I'm going to kill you, but we didn't mean it.
Right. That part. That part.
We didn't mean it. We just felt it, We might have just gave them a little push and kept it moving.
Felt it in my spirit in that moment.
Yeah, I was never like plotting on them for real, okay? I love those jokers. But they were for real. They were ready to take him out because they had enough.
They were sick of him.
They were sick of him. And there was a cistern, which is like a water tank, essentially. This one was empty. So they figure they can kill him. They can push him into the cistern. They can go back to Jacob and be like, we all know what happened. Something just tore him up. Like, we in the wilderness.
He disappeared.
Bad things happened. However, Reuben, who is the oldest of the sons, and Reuben, who has some making up to do with Jacob because of some of his past actions, he's like, everybody chill.
Hold up. Time out.
I know Joseph is annoying, but let's not kill him. That's maybe pushing it
too far.
Too much, guys. Take a time out. Like, let's take a couple deep breaths, use some coping mechanisms. Now, I'm not the oldest, but I feel like oldest siblings often have to be the one to reel it in. And that's what Reuben was doing. And Reuben also had an understanding that because Jacob loves Joseph so much, that if he was to lose him, it would just tear his world apart.
Yeah.
That's his baby.
He would be inconsolable.
All of that. And Reuben don't want those problems. So he's like, let's not kill him. Let's not do that. And they decide that they'll just kind of like give him a shove, I'm sure a party into the pit down there. And it's Reuben's thought, I'm pretty sure, that he's just like going to go back. He's going to pull him out the pit, take him on home. And that's that on that. Like, the brothers are just going to get back to work and kind of forget what has happened. Mm-hmm. But Reuben gets back to work. And I'm assuming he's like farther out in the field at this point, because it's not like they all are staying in one area. And some of the brothers see Ishmaelites coming, and they are travelers. So they're travelers, they're traders, not traitors, but traders.
They participate in trading goods. Yes, trading.
Traders. I want to make sure I'm enunciating there. And they're on their way to if we just kill Joseph, we're not going to get any money. Like, it might have been emotionally fulfilling for them, but they weren't going to reap financial benefits of that. And they have this idea to sell him to the traders.
Basically into slavery. Basically into slavery.
They sell him into slavery. And they say this way, like, they'll be rid of him.
And we got money. We got paid.
Okay. So to them, it's like bonus, 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 bonus. And that is exactly what they do. They pull him up out the pit. They take his coat, because they're going to need that for evidence later.
We need evidence.
And they sell him on his merry way. Reuben doesn't even know that this is what has happened. Like, Reuben comes back, and when he sees that the pit is empty, he tears his clothing, which is grieving. It's a sign, not a sign of grieving. It's a grieving ritual is the word that I'm going for. It is part of the grieving ritual. So I feel like, again, Reuben as the oldest is probably like, I'm finna get in trouble.
But okay, so let's say Reuben went back and pulled Joseph out the pit to take him home. He snitches. Do you think you were going to get Joseph back home and he wasn't going to tell that his other brothers pushed him in the pit? It was going to be some wind in the city. So it probably worked out for the best.
Probably.
It did actually work out for the best.
What was supposed to have happened, it had happened, okay? Because it wasn't going to be pretty had Reuben returned him. In fact, the brothers probably would have tried to kill Reuben and Joseph just to get it done.
Yeah, but Reuben would have been like, I'd like to see you try it.
There were a lot of emotions. I'll just say there were a lot of emotions. So they sell Joseph into slavery. They take his coat and slaughter a goat and put its blood all over it so it looks like Joseph has been murdered by an animal. They all go on home like they were supposed to in the first place. They go on home. They have the coat. They present it to Jacob. He sees the bloodstained coat and he thinks an animal has just torn his baby boy apart. And he is, as Reuben knew he would be, inconsolable.
Inconsolable.
All of the siblings, including the one sister, try to go to him and cheer him up, but he just doesn't want to hear it at all.
He don't want no parts.
Like, he too rips his clothing and just mourns and mourns and mourns. And he essentially says that he is just going to be in mourning until he joins Joseph in death.
So that's crazy.
He said, I never,
ever.
I'm never going to get over this. I'm never going to feel better. Leave me alone. So that's how things are going in the household. Okay. Now Joseph has been sold along his merry way, and he goes to the house of Potiphar. Potiphar. Mm-hmm. Who is a part of, I believe he's a guard for the Pharaoh. So he's like kind of up there in status. And it's Joseph's job to kind of look after things in the household. God's favor, ooh, you'll love to see it, shines upon Joseph. And Joseph becomes well loved in the house of Potiphar. So Potiphar eventually trusts him pretty much with everything in the household. He is allowed to run the day-to-day operations of the home. He's allowed to look after things, kind of have access to things. He is not doing, I'm assuming, too much like manual field labor type stuff. Like, he is in the home looking after things, making sure things are running smoothly, and he is trusted. He is essentially the second to Potiphar in the home. So
talk about elevation. Talk about elevation. And on top of that, because he was favored, everything that he touched of Potiphar's was also blessed. Yes. Why wouldn't you elevate that person?
Exactly.
You. Come.
Everything he touches, blessed.
Blessed.
Okay.
Hashtag blessed.
Blessed. Everything he does goes well. So, it made sense for Potiphar to say, keep doing what you're doing. Like, I'm going to travel and do my job and all the stuff that I'm supposed to, but you just, God's son, you do that. All right. So he has that position of power, even though I'm sure his heart is hurt. Like, his brothers done sold him. Okay. He's away from his father, whom I'm sure he loved just as much.
His whole family.
Yeah, his whole family. His sister, his brothers, his coat, all of it. He's been betrayed and sold into slavery. His coat too, okay? He probably was missing that coat. Like, I don't know if y'all ever had an item of clothing that you were like particularly attached to and it like got ripped or lost or yeah. So he probably feeling for that coat too. Probably. But he has been elevated through God and shown favor, so he is able to do well in this household still. Now, the Bible specifically says, here's a direct quote, because I don't want y'all to think I'm just being messy over here. Now, Joseph was well built and handsome. Well built and handsome. So what I had got from that was Joseph was fine.
Fine. He was hot.
Fine, okay? And he's probably...
He was looking like a snack.
Looking like a snack, perhaps even a whole dinner. When the story starts, he's, I believe, 16. So around now, he might be 18, 19, in his early 20s, something like that. He's looking good. Okay, he's looking good. And Potiphar's wife takes notice of that. Yeah, she notices that fine, chiseled man who her husband has put in charge of so many things. And she starts making advances on him, y'all. She is incessant, daily trying to get with Joseph, trying to convince Joseph to sleep with her, trying to seduce Joseph, like doing all of the things, probably draping her cloak off her shoulder and
doing the most.
The most. But Joseph understands that Potiphar trusts him and has put him in a great position, and he doesn't want to.
He's not in the cougars. That's all. He is not into cougars, and he don't do other men's wives.
Yeah, first and foremost, not his bag. He's good on that. He is okay. But also he, like, Potiphar has trusted him, and he doesn't want to break that trust, and he doesn't want to sin against God either by laying with another man's wife. Okay? He's a righteous, handsome fella. And we love to see that.
Love it. Love it.
Now, one day, Joseph is doing his work, and, I'm sure he's focused. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And it just so happened that him and the wife were the only people in the home at the time. So now, she probably rubbing them hands together. She probably putting on some blush, just knowing that today's going to be the day.
Wearing the latest Egyptian hairstyle.
Thinking she fine, checking herself. I don't know if they had mirrors, but I'm going to say looking in the mirror, looking in the water. I don't know.
She was checking something.
She was checking something. Okay. And she just knew today was going to be the day. So she makes an advance at Joseph. And my man, he was so pressed to get away from her that he shook right out of his cloak.
He got out of there. He got away.
Like, it's assumed, it's not directly stated, but it's assumed he was butt naked after this because he just shook his way out of his clothes. And when I read upon this, I was like, we need to duck sin like Joseph did, okay? I'm not advising y'all to run around naked. However, we need to shake sin loose, okay? If you gotta leave your hoodie behind, do that.
Get it off.
All right? Leave it behind. If we see sin, we need to break sin's ankles, all right? Cross sin up.
That part. Like, listen, get out of there.
Do what you gotta do to avoid temptation. And Joseph just shook his way right out of his clothes because nope, not doing it. Not at all.
I don't think he was naked, y'all. I think he had a cloak on and he got out of that. He probably still had a tunic on.
In my mind, he was naked. I don't know. But I know he took off a layer of clothing. So we'll go with that. Yeah, because she had grabbed it and he said, nope,
not today.
Now, this does leave a little bit of a conundrum because the scheming wife now has his cloak, right? And she's been trying to get with him and get with him and get with him. And he's been saying, nope, nope, nope.
And nobody likes rejection. Nobody.
Nobody is big on rejection at all. So she takes the cloak and she shows it to Potiphar. She shows it to everybody, talking about, look at your mans. Look, Joseph was trying to get with me.
He tried to take advantage.
She probably was crying and just wiping at her fake tears. Nothing was even coming out of her eyes. Like, look what this man has done.
Yeah.
And Potiphar, he fell for it. And
Okie doke.
He fell for the tears. And I mean, she did have the cloak. So Potiphar, I get it. I get it. Why does your wife have your servant's cloak? It's not looking good.
But why would he leave it behind though?
It's
But it's fine.
I get it. I ain't even mad at you, Potiphar. But he had to deal with it. You know, he's the head of his household, and he can't just have a man after his woman trying to take advantage. So he sends Joseph to jail. So Joseph has gone from the pit to the prison.
From one pit to another.
It's just it's avalanching. The bad things are adding up. And even though there are these like sweet moments in there and God's favor is still there and Joseph doesn't seem too dismayed, like things are just going bad for him. Okay.
It's like peaks and valleys. He was father's favorite, put into a pit. He was elevated in the household, put in prison. Like, and that's life. Ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. We have highs and we have lows.
It can't always be bad, but it also
won't always be good.
You know, you hear us. You hear us on that one.
You picking up what we laying down?
So Joseph goes to jail. Joseph is fine in jail. Let me stop talking about how fine Joseph was. That's no longer relevant at this point.
He was looking good.
It tickled me that the Bible pointed it out that he was handsome. That's all. So he's in jail. But again, God's favor shines on him, and it is the prison guard who is taken by him. Like, he likes him. He thinks that he's a good guy. So I don't know what tasks there were to be done in prison, but Joseph takes those over, right? He gains the trust of the leadership, and even though he's in prison, we're at the bottom of the valley there, things could be looking up.
Yeah, he still gained favor. Like, again, even though no one's like, I don't want favor, but you probably do. You probably want favor in prison, but he got favor even in prison. And so God was with him even in this moment of despair, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, that is where I'm going to cut us off for today, because I'm going to pick it up with what happens in the prison, and there's much more to it. But we're going to break it into two pieces because there's a lot to digest.
And we want you to get all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
Soak it all in. Okay. But I do have some takeaways for you, of course, as per usual. And that first takeaway, which we kind of got into a little bit, is God's favor does not mean an easy path.
Nope.
Okay. God can favor you. God does love you. But there are going to be times that are trying. Okay?
Hard.
So Joseph goes through betrayal from his brothers. He is put into slavery. He is arrested. False accusations are made against him. It's rough.
It's hard out.
It's very hard out here, okay? It is very hard out here. So even though he has this favor and it's recognized in every place he goes to, right? Like, his dad loves him. He is loved by Potiphar, and his favor even goes into his actions. Like, whatever he touches will be successful.
Could you imagine whatever you touch is gold?
Man.
Gold. Even when you're not living your life like it's golden.
Even still. And he's favored in the prison too. So he has that favor on him, and he is still making sure to follow God, right? Because I feel like sexually in the book of Genesis, a lot happens, okay? There is a lot of sexual immorality in the book of Genesis. Like, there is sexual assault. There's incest. There is a lot.
Well, but so with the incest though, it wasn't considered well. If we talk about Lot, then yeah, that wasn't right, and God wouldn't have smiled upon that. So if that's what we talk about, then yes, what she said.
Mm-hmm.
But the other stuff, there are other family members that were allowed to marry that wouldn't have been considered incest. But Lot's situation,
Yeah.
that was not.
We recently went through that one in our small group or our Bible studies, so that one is fresh on the mind.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
But I say all this to say that it would have been rare for someone to reject a sexual advance. And I'm sure Potiphar's wife was nice and pretty and, had all of the latest fashion and makeup and clothing.
And she was probably beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure. And it's not like she just came to him one time. So he continually rejected those advantages.
Yep. And you got to think, that was a polyamorous nation, right? They had harems with many women. They had many wives and concubines. So although the women weren't to have many men, it doesn't shock me. It doesn't shock me that she would try to do this.
Yeah, it's Joseph that is going against the grain and saying, nope, I'm not sinning against God, and able to keep that favor upon his life. And, he just keeps pleasing God.
Mm-hmm.
But even all that does not exempt him from the struggle, which he is actively in. Okay. Another takeaway that I have is that hard seasons, they can be preparation. They can prepare our heart. They can prepare our mind. They can get us ready for something else that God has for us. It's not, and I don't want it to feel like I'm saying if you're going through something hard, it's because something better is coming. Not necessarily. It could be some more hard stuff coming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Joseph went from slavery to prison, so that was not great. But God prepared him.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't do anything. And I think sometimes it's hard when we go through things, we think, oh, we must have done something. Oh, God doesn't love us. Oh, I'm being punished for something. And
God turned away from me.
And that's not true. Like Joseph did in the story, as we were going along, you notice Joseph didn't do anything to be rejected by God at all. He did nothing, but he still went through these obstacles because God did not promise that life is going to go without suffering. He never said it. It's nowhere. So although God is love and God is grace, it does not prevent us from a life of suffering. And so we are going to go through these things. And what we're supposed to glean from it is, how is God going to get the glory out of my life? How am I going to honor and glorify God through this process, which is continuing to remain faithful? Mm-hmm. In Joseph's particular situation, he's still remaining faithful in the midst of such dire situations, so it seems. And then on top of that, like, God is still preparing you because there's something else to come. So he's also enduring and building his character, and then there's also preparation. It could be one or the other, or it can be both things.
And in all of this, I'm sure Joseph is leaning into God. Right? So when we go into hard seasons, we can feel like we need to run away or we need to go to that coping mechanism that's not great for us. But what we really need to do is lean into God.
Yeah.
Pray on it. God, I don't understand why I'm in this season. Like, give me understanding. Strengthen me, Lord. Lean on God in those seasons, which I'm quite sure is exactly what Joseph had did. Okay. And he's gone through all of these things, but being in that pit, that taught him some resilience, right? And it might have even taught him a little bit about delivery. I'm just saying. The way he delivered those dreams, not great. I digress. Being in Potiphar's house taught him management. He was in charge of everything.
And leadership.
Leadership. They probably didn't have resumes, but he was building his resume. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like if he was on LinkedIn, it would be a top tier profile because he's building all of these skills. Being in prison is teaching him patience because you can't go anywhere. You're at the whim of someone else in prison. So he's building all of these skills and building his trust in God, even in this difficult season of his life. And he's getting ready for something that I promise y'all is going to be big in part 2. Okay. There is a reason for it all. Praise God. Now After all of this, after Joseph's long suffering, my question that I had to reflect on with what has been going on here is, what does the Bible tell us about difficult times, right? Because we know they're coming.
They're coming.
We know it's going to be.
Whether you want to or not.
We know. And because we know it's coming, we can be prepared, right? Like, we can already have Bible verses bookmarked to go to for when life gets to lifing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the deluxe version. So in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 4, it says, "Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance."
Go on, persevere, y'all. Persevere.
Count it all joy. Count it all joy. Even as you're going through tough times, find joy in it. Like, we're still here. God is still good. The things of this world are going to fall away, but God is steadfast. God is a firm foundation.
And
God
never changing.
never change. I was about to say he's the same for you, for your children, for your children's children, for your grandmother, for your great grandmother.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
He is a God of generations. He's a God of promises. So in any trial, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have your peaks and valleys. But what you know is that what God has said is true.
Absolutely.
What God has promised will come true. God is not going to fail. God's not going to lose a battle. And you can anchor yourself in that as you go through it.
Or you could be like,
Or both.
you know, and not saying that you can't have that moment and then come out of it, but what would be more beneficial to go through like, all right, God, I trust you? Because I think it's more taxing to go through feeling like, than to be like, okay, God, I trust you. I know this is hard, but I'm going to go through this with joy. I'm going to embrace what I'm going through instead of constantly resist it, because that would be more stressful. I mean, that's because the situation itself is going to be stressful, but I think it would be more stressful to fight through it than to go along with it and trust God through it.
Yeah, like, I just had a work week that, drained about everything from me. But even in the midst of it, I was still able to take a step back and say, like, all right, well, God, help me in how I react. Help me before I even see what's coming through. Like, bless the door of my office. Bless the hallway that these students come down. Protect. Let your spirit be palpable. Because I knew it was going to be some stuff, and it was some stuff. But I tried not to, and I did have my moments where I was like, I just want to sleep. I'm so over everything. But I know that God is real, and I know that God has not left me. God has not forsaken me. And God has put me in this position to be able to help, right? As I work with students, many of them are in crisis this week, and I had to remove myself from the equation because what's being said about me, maybe what's being said to me, people's actions are not on me. All I can do is help. All I can do is give resources. All I can do is keep praying that I won't fall apart. And I did it. And the week is over. We made it. Praise God. Praise God. Great. You love to see it.
And focusing on what people say about you takes away from what God said about you. Right. And so instead of focusing on what people said about you, focus on what God said about you. Who does God say I am?
Yeah. And if you Google it, there are like huge lists that you can compile. Like, God says you are loved. God says you are never alone. God says you are his child. So what somebody else says, oh well.
They just learn it. And not saying that words don't hurt, because I understand words can hurt, but I don't want to sit in those. Like, I want to let that go and be like, okay, but God says I am. God said, because it's easy to fall into that and then start to believe what other people say about you. And so how do I say, the only way to fight that is to be like, well, God said I am.
Yeah.
loved. God said I am his. God said I am beautiful. God said I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God said I am precious. So I think that you have to combat the negative
Definitely.
with the positive, and the positive is, what did God say? Who did God say I am?
What's more valuable?
Yeah.
What God said about you, or what somebody you don't even know you, or maybe they do know you a little bit, or what a human said? What has more value? Like, I'll take what God said.
Yeah, the faulty human.
For 1,000, Alex. Thank you.
I'll take what God said.
Yes, please, please, thanks. All right. So also here I have Proverbs 16:9. In their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. And this reminds me of the church elders when I was a kid saying, like, we humans make plans and God laughs at them.
And the saying I heard was, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
See, yeah. Like, we can plan for so much. You might be a type A and have charts and all sorts of things, but we just never know what's going to happen. Okay. But what we can do is trust that God is above it all.
And he has a will and a purpose for your life. And it's going to look different. It may look different from the purpose that you had for your life.
Yeah. I think of so many people who found themselves called into like ministry or into working with kids or all sorts of different things. And they're like, I never saw it coming. I never had this on my mind.
And I didn't want it. There's some people like, and I didn't want it.
Yep. And they might have ran from it for years. But God's going to help you make that U-turn whether you want to or not.
Yep. And well, I'm not going to say whether you want to or not. I'll say God's going to help you make the U-turn, and either you're going to lean into that or you're going to reject it.
But he going to bring you back to it. And it's up to you. You know, if you keep seeing something coming along and God is pushing you in that direction, let yourself fall. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay. Now, the last verse that I have for y'all today comes from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. And that is, come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Rest. And rest is something that we talk about so much lately, like the self-care revolution, and rest is revolutionary and this and that, because we are such a busy culture. We value just like being on the go, phone buzzing, email dinging, picking the kids up, dropping the kids off, taking care of this, that, and the other thing.
Having to work 2 and 3 jobs just to pay rent. I'm just saying.
Like hustle culture.
Girl.
We value hustle culture, and it's tearing us up, okay? We is tired. We is overwhelmed. We is overstimulated. It is a lot.
It is crazy. Living in New York,
Ooh, I couldn't even
definitely showed me like hustle culture. Like just walking. When people would come and visit me, they'd be like, why are you walking so fast? Because if you are in New York,
yeah,
everybody is on go all the time. And I mean, people are walking fast. You have to have a stiff shoulder. It's serious. When you're in New York and everybody, I don't think many people come to say, oh, I'm settling in New York. People come for a purpose, whether it's to follow a dream or you're coming for a specific school. Like you're coming for a specific purpose. Like it's the city of dreams, like they say about Los Angeles. But I think it's the city of dreams, and you come there for a specific purpose. And when you do that, it's like this laser beam focus of things, and people are just always on go and hustling.
And it catches up to you. Like, we're not meant to live like that.
Yeah, I walk slower since I moved back. Since I moved back to Baltimore, I walk slower.
That makes me happy. Slow down, everyone.
Because you're catching the train coming at a certain time. Yeah. Always on go.
It's a lot. But this verse just reminds us that regardless of what it is that we're going through, God will give us rest. And it might not be the rest that we're picturing in that revolutionary rest. You know, it might not be God is going to give you a spa day, or I don't know, God is going to give you a straight 12 hours straight for, yeah, all that. But God will give you rest. You can always rest at God's feet. God will restore you. God will give you the strength to go through these trials. God will bring you through it. This time, next time, the next time. God will give you Rest.
But it requires action because it starts with come to me.
Come to me.
All who are weary and burdened, come to me. So give me your burdens. Lay it at my feet so that you can rest from it. And some of us want to carry it. Some of us have like huge backpacks. You know, the ones in the army that are like all the way up to here and down to their butt. That's a lot of baggage. Some of us got 2, 3 bags. Some of us have the little luggage carrier that you take through the airport with tons of baggage. And God is saying, let it go. Give it to me and rest. And it's a spiritual rest.
Yes, God's arms are big enough. He can take it. Okay? And when you get that spiritual rest, ooh, baby. That's going to do you so different than anything else.
Than any vacation.
Okay?
Because you can come from a vacation, rest it, and get back to work, and it's like you're right back where you were when you started.
Here we go again.
And so to come back and be like, I'm not operating from a place of frenzied, frantic. I'm operating from a place of, okay, God, how you have me, where you have me, what you say, you lead, I follow.
And he's a God of order, so he will order your steps if you allow him to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
We would love for y'all to spill the tea. Yes, we do. So you can make a little comment for us. But the question that I have is, have you ever wondered if the hard seasons in your life are actually preparing you for something bigger?
Mm. Have they prepared you for something bigger? Like, drop it in the chat. Share your story. If you have questions, put it in the chat. We love to hear from you. We have all gone through some things. And I know God has called me. Like, this podcast, I feel like, is a purpose. And podcasting is not for the weak. It's not easy. At least it's not for us.
We didn't know what we were doing when we started.
And we're still learning. But I believe this is what God is calling us to do. And so we are being faithful and remaining steadfast and obedient even when it's hard.
Yeah, especially trying to lean into this all when it's hard. So what do you think God may be preparing you for? Or share a testimony. I would love to know something that you went through, made your way through it, and how it all ended. I would love for y'all to put that in there. So as always, feel free to like, to comment, to subscribe, to share, do all of those good things. Sharing is caring.
Yes, because stinginess hurts.
It do. Okay. Now, God loves you.
And so do we.
Bye.
He's the bread of life, Alpha and Omega, our firm foundation. Jesus! The well that never runs dry. You're still thirsty off the Henny and you wonder why. JESUS is all you need. Wonderful counselor.